This is Jonathan Agger, Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Johnny Nelson, former Cruiserweight World Champion and Sky Sports pundit. Johnny, That Boxing Show with Johnny Nelson on YouTube, how's that going?
We're doing well, man, we're doing well. I'm actually going to try and film a bit from my hotel room down here, so we'll wait and see how it rolls, but it's doing pretty well. We've got, I think we're on 7,000 subscribers, trying to get to 10,000 and we'll make it a live studio audience, but so far so good. Brilliant.
Great stuff. One fight before we get into this fight, Dubois Harper on Sunday. One fight I'm sure you'll be breaking down will be Chisora-Wilder tomorrow night. What's your thoughts? Do you think Deontay's got enough left to land that right hand, or do you think Chisora's just going to overwhelm him?
I don't think Deontay has enough left to be the devastating fighter he was, and there's a lot of mitigating circumstances for that, as well as age and miles on the clock. I think Derek beats this version of Deontay Wilder, and this version of Deontay Wilder has been pretty tame, with Derek and Deontay being pretty tame, and people are struggling because these guys can file off like a crackerjack, but they're thinking, hold on a minute, it's like the old pals act. But these guys are nutters enough to be able to switch it on the second the bell goes. Friendship's out the window, and when the final bell's gone, they'll be hugging each other again. They'll go for a five guard and smoke a spliff, as Derek says. But I think the danger of what I've seen of Deontay is gone, and even if he manages to turn back time and create that KO power that he does, I just don't. I think that version of Deontay's gone. He probably left in the 3 fights he had with Tyson.
Derek's insisted that this is the end, whatever happens on Saturday night. Do you believe him?
No, I don't. I don't believe him. Depends on. Okay, I believe him if he gets devastatingly knocked out. Anything less than that, I don't believe him. You lot can, but I don't believe him, because then he'll be shy. I want Usyk. I want, And Derek loves a pound note when it comes to this. He understands he can make a dollar out of this, and he'll box as long as he possibly can. The only way Derek stops fighting is if the officials take his license off him, and until he stays fit and healthy and gets the job done, they can't do jack diddly about it. So Derek War Chisora.
When you retired, how difficult was the decision for you?
It's very hard to walk away. It's very hard to walk away from the regime of Cam. It's very hard to walk away from that kamikaze mentality you have to have when you're training for a fight. It's very hard to walk away from having to accept the responsibilities of an adult and run a household, and it's just something you miss. It's something that's always been in your life. Derek will be, how old is he now?
42, 41.
He'll be like a 41-year-old school leaver. What else does he know? Boxing teaches you to stand on the door of a club. It teaches you to be a coach. That's what boxing teaches you, and you can't apply that skill anywhere else, which is why for about 5 years after you've retired, your head's up your backside, because you think, what am I going to do?
Circle back to Sunday night, Sky Sports back with MVP, huge fight for Dubois and Terri Harper. Talk to me about this fight, and it's built up nicely, hasn't it?
It has built up nicely. We did the gloves are off, and Terri and Caroline, they've both blossomed since then. And I said up to this point, if we were scoring the fight up to this point, I'd say unanimously Caroline's well and truly ahead, verbally in every department, until this week. And then Terri did something that made Caroline, and everybody look up and say, wow. And what Terri did was she gave back what she was giving, what she was getting. She shoved Caroline out of the blue, and Caroline looked and said, where the hell's that come from? And she had to step back up again, and I thought, I didn't know she was that strong. And she was like the hidden giant, and she's turned up today looking in brilliant condition. I've been looking at clips of her training. Training's spot on. I think training's gone bang right for her. The one thing advantage she has over Caroline is experience. She's experienced every aspect of our sport. Caroline's only experienced winning of the sport, and so now I think Terri has to control the beast. She has to control. If she doesn't control her, Caroline will knock her out.
Since this press conference, the first press conference when it was announced that MVP on Sky, Zuffa Boxing have been added. We spoke to Eddie Hearn maybe 2 weeks ago, and he said that times have moved on when he was asked about the significance of Sky. He said people and the viewing figures between Sky and DAZN are similar. In your opinion, what is the significance for Dana White of having the Sky Sports behind him?
The significance is that he's joined forces with an experienced broadcaster that can make diamonds in a heartbeat, because they've got the experience, they've got the time, they know how it works, and if you play the game, you can be a force to be reckoned with. Look at Eddie. Look what the union that he and AJ created, and when you're given the keys to the kingdom, if you unlock the right doors, you can rule the roost, because you've got 40-50 years of broadcasting experience to take advantage of. It's just that if you don't know how to, if you don't know what doors to open, you're going to spoil it for yourself. So I think Zuffa and MVP have brought an international feel to it, where they probably see something, or they think, we've got an opportunity here to leapfrog a bit of learning we have to do, because we're in with the big boys.
Speaking of Sky, Conor Benn did an interview on the overlap on Sky with Gary Neville, and he claims that Matchroom never gave him a cent. And then Eddie came out yesterday on IFL and said that he's been, he lent him money to afford cars and houses and things like that nature. What do you make of the back and forth, and who's telling the truth here?
Well, there's a lot of conflicting stuff as well, because Conor's come off social media, and so he probably doesn't see half of the things that are being said on social media from Matchroom. And he said, "Look, I've got a lot of love for Matchroom, a lot of love for Eddie." And Conor had to make a tough decision, which most people would make. It's just the fashion he went about it. I think in regards to the claim of being paid and not being paid, I'm not privy to that, and if that is the case, I don't know what Conor's referring to if he's saying he didn't get any money off Matchroom when he actually did. So it's just this is business. This is their business. So it's very hard for me to comment on that. I can't say Conor's lying, because I don't know. I can't say Eddie's lying. I don't know. What I can say is it's such a shame that it's broken down to this point, to this stage, and I'd love to, I'll not be a fly, but kind of be a fly on the wall to see what they're like when they're in the presence of each other's company.
This is reportedly a one-fight deal with Zuffa. Eddie's kind of hinting that it's not. But if he is a free agent after next week, would it shock you if he goes back to Matchroom? Not
at all. Do not be surprised at all if they are working together again. The relationship has changed, where Eddie will not give him the benefit of the doubt and not give him that trust and love that he did initially. But do not be surprised. One thing Frank Warren said to me when he was my promoter, he said, "Johnny, I have to work with people I don't like. This is business." So who would have ever thought Eddie and Frank Warren would be working together? So all the things that are said and done, and the names that are called, and the disrespect that's given by fighters and managers and promoters, it's always there. Do not be surprised. Now Conor, I think Conor really and truly believes it's a one-fight deal, and so he can do what he wants afterwards. So let's see what, and if that is the case, and Conor keeps growing, his popularity keeps growing, or his haters keep hating, then Conor's still in a saleable position. Whereas as business, have you heard, if you ask the question to Eddie, ask the question to Barry, would you work with him again? I don't believe any of them. Ask the question to Frank. Ask them that question. Would you work with Conor Benn again if after this fight he said, let's do something? The answer is going to be yeah. It's not going to be no. After all the things that I said and done, this is business. So you've got personal business like mixing, like oil and water, and that's just how it rolls. It's just unfortunately it's an argument that's playing out in public, and so that being the case, people are picking sides and people are throwing in their own 10 pennies worth.
I know you said you can't comment on the money, which is fair enough, but the way Conor left, Eddie said, like, you didn't even pick up the phone after everything I've done for him. Do you feel like it could have been handled better? Or
without doubt, it was well documented, I think. Because I thought, would I have done something like that? And if I did, I'd have done it different. I said, Bren, I've been offered this. The deal is I've got to leave you. Here's a cut. It's a 1-fight deal. Keep it stum, and we share the love, and then do your deal and come back home again. That's how I'd have done it. But everybody's different, and if it did play out the way Eddie said it played out, and Conor didn't even pick the phone up, that's bad form, and that's not cool. I don't believe that was the case, but I don't know. But I don't believe Conor. I don't believe Nigel would let Conor do it like that. I don't believe Nigel would let his son operate like that. So let's just ask Conor the question. Let Conor answer that, because there's a couple of things that have got a bit of shade on it in regards to the deal, in regards to Eddie not knowing about the deal, in regards to this conversation that they could have had some way, shape or form. Let's hear it from Conor, and if that was the case, bad form, it's not cool.
Last question, Tyson Fury back next week against Makhmudov. Would you like to see the Fury and Joshua fight happen straight away if he wins, or do you believe Joshua needs a warm-up fight, considering what happened?
They could do that fight now. And it's a case of, are we going to get Gideon excited about it happening? We've done it far too many times, like the boy that cried wolf. So when it does happen, then it does get close to it. People will probably not really believe it's going to happen until we see them both on the stage fight week together in the undercrackers on the scales. But let's wait and see.
Cool. Johnny, appreciate your time. Sky Sports this Sunday for Dubois against Harper, and that boxing show with Johnny Nelson for your breakdowns and reactions. So Johnny, appreciate your time, mate.
Nice, bless.